Big mighty God did it again. You woke up on the right side of the dirt, so let's give God a praise. This is John Lakin and Friends. What's up, everybody? This is your boy, John Lakin, and welcome to John Lakin and Friends. Welcome to John Lakin and Friends. We have an incredible show lined up for you today. We thank you so much for joining us. We're about to lift up a praise that says, Lord, I want you to help me.
I said, Lord, 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 I need you to help me. Hey, I said, I can't make it without you. Father, help me. Hey, I want you to help me. On my journey. Help me on my way. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord, I want you to help me. Oh, I said, Lord, 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 I need you to help me. That's it. You're the only friend I have. Need you to help me. I want you to help me on my journey. That's how they insult in the country. God bless you.
Yeah. Come on, church. Come on, church. Come on.
Oh, I hear the sound in here. You know my body gets weak and my faith. You know I gotta keep on beating on your everlasting. Don't you know that I'm calling on you? Yes, sir, I need your help. I can't make it by myself. I gotta get out of there. I gotta get out of there. We'll have camp meeting revival.
My name is Betty Spells Price. I'm the president and CEO of Carver Construction and Design Incorporated, a general contracting and construction management firm located in the heart of Columbia, South Carolina. Our clients include educational facilities, religious institutions, retail establishments, administrative buildings, and so much more. We specialize in creating beautiful spaces with functionality and community at the heart. As God blesses us, we bless others. Our dream is to make your dream come true. Carver is the one-stop shop for all of your construction needs.
The Bible lets us know in 1 Corinthians, the 16th chapter, the 9th verse, that Paul says that he was given an effectual door. An effectual door was open for him, but there were many adversaries. This morning, I want to just talk to you about how do you handle opposition at your open door. See, the reality is we walk through so many doors every single morning without even thinking about opposition. We get to our car doors, we go to our job doors, we go through doors in the morning to get out of bed, and we have to exit our house through doors. But what do you do in life when God has opened a door, but yet there is opposition? Well, first of all, the thing you have to do is your faith has to outweigh the opposition. Faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. And when your faith has been established, you got to understand that you got to make sure your faith remains strong in the midst of opposition. The second thing you got to do is don't let your haters break your spirit. Don't let them take your joy. The reason you have opposition is because you have an opportunity. And when God blesses you with an opportunity, you inherit some haters. There will always be people who will try to block your progress. But I am here to tell you that with every door that God opens, no man can shut it. And finally, I want you to know this morning before I leave. Favor. Your favor with God outweighs the opposition. Greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. That's right. Your destiny, your greatness, your blessings, your opportunities are greater than any of the opposition that you'll be facing. All you got to do is hold on, keep the faith, stay strong, and watch God do his thing. This has been your Motivational Moment with John Lakin and Friends. I'm Bishop Wendell B. Sumter.
Welcome back to John Lakin and Friends, and let me tell you, it is my esteemed honor to have my brother and friend, the good Bishop Kevin Long Jr. with us on today. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm well, sir. I hope that you are.
Man, it's a great day. I'm super glad to have you here, all the way from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yes, sir, the Queen City.
Yes, sir. Now, where are you from originally?
I'm originally from Charlotte, born and bred. Yeah.
Cut it out.
Yes, sir. Raised there, and up until undergrad, that's where I did my journey.
Yes, sir. Now, where'd you go to undergrad?
Elizabeth City State University.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and what did you major in there?
Political science.
Okay. Now, so now, were you on your track to become an attorney, or?
Most certainly.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And how did that turn out?
It didn't turn out too well, or it didn't turn out the way that I wanted it to.
The way that you thought, yeah.
Yes,
I got you. So, of course, we know that you are an incredible pastor and leader in the Charlotte area. Talk about your church. What ministry are you serving?
Temple Church International. I've been pastoring there for 26 years.
Wait a minute. Now, hold on. You've been pastoring 26 years?
There 26 years.
Wow. Now, it does not look, you don't look old enough to be pastoring anywhere for 26 years.
Man, I'm going to pay you when I get my check, I promise.
My God, I'm not going to ask you your age on this good television show, but I'm going to tell you, you don't look like what you've been through, doctor.
But thank you,
That's
sir.
incredible.
True story.
All right, now, and so now let's talk about family life. Yes, of course, congratulations. We know that you recently got married.
Yes, sir.
And that is incredible. Now, how many children do you have?
I have 6. I have 3 biological, and my wife has 3 biological.
Okay.
And, so we have 6 heads of children.
That's all right. Now, you know, we're from the country, so we come from big families. That's all we know. And I want to know, what is your, with you pastoring for 26 years, what do you feel like the heart of your calling in ministry is? Like, certain people have certain influences or different ways that God used them in ministry. What would you say the specific calling of the Lord concerning your ministry is?
And I think the Lord has called and assigned me to be an encourager to the body.
Okay.
You know, encouragement is so key, critical, and crucial.
Yes,
as it relates to our everyday journey as believers. And so the assignment to encourage seems to be that which apprehended.
I got you.
Yes, sir.
And of course, you know, you're pastoring for 26 years, and you've gone through all kinds of transitions, I'm sure, in ministry. This last few years, you've had to pastor through pandemic.
Yes, sir.
How did that change the trajectory of how you presented ministry in your church?
Oh, wow. It caused us to broaden our horizon in terms of ministry presentation. Of course, you know, we went through that season when we were, you know, literally forced to quarantine. Yeah. Some didn't gather at all. We gathered with skeleton ministry crews. Yeah. At one point, it was just a few singers, a few
I got you.
musicians, and myself, and ministers who would serve during that time. So it caused us to, adjust and readjust to and adapt to the times in which we lived. And it was, in my opinion, one of the best things that could have happened to me as a pastor.
All right, let's talk about this.
Yeah.
How did the pandemic change your approach to ministry as far as preaching? Because when you're preaching in a house, there's nothing like a house that is full of the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
The people are celebrating and praising along.
Yes.
But when you're not able to hear those amens back, and you're having to literally preach to chairs because you're talking to a camera, very much like we're doing today.
Yes, sir.
How did that transition happen spiritually? How did you prepare differently than you did before with a church full of people?
Well, first of all, I think one of the advantages of having to do ministry in that context is that I had to adapt to the times in terms of doing virtual ministry.
Yes.
Using technology to reach those who we are assigned to. But then secondly, for me, the beauty was that it gave me a greater perspective of the importance of evangelistic ministry. And here's what I mean.
Come on.
Literally preaching to the chairs. So now you're preaching to who's not in the chairs.
Come on.
With the expectation that God would put people in seats.
Come on.
At some point in time. And, it was humbling in a sense to not have the energy of feedback and call and response that I was used to. But also it was very encouraging.
Come on.
To let me know that, God had ushered us into another dimension of ministry and given us a broader perspective of how ministry should and could be done.
There's so much more to come after this on John Lakin and Friends.
Carver Properties is a boutique real estate sales and development firm here in Columbia, South Carolina.
And our goal is to show our clients how to build generational wealth through real estate.
Our website is www.carbraproperties.com. You spell Carbra, C-A-R-B-R-A, properties.com. And you can find us at Carver Properties on all social media platforms.
Welcome back to John Lakin and Friends, and we are having an incredible conversation with my friend, Bishop Kevin Long. All right, let's talk about this powerful book that you've written and that you are releasing right now. Put Your Mask On First. What are you telling us, good Bishop? Come on, talk to us.
Put your mask on first. 30 days of devotions, meditations, and affirmations for evolving souls.
Wow.
This book was actually birthed out of the pandemic.
Okay.
I have for the past 3 to 4 years, maybe longer, posted daily on my social media platform, in particular Instagram, and I would post these quotes. And as we moved into the pandemic, the quotes became more and more inspired by the experiences that we had during quarantine.
Yes, sir.
Some of the revelations you get being quarantined and separated.
Wow.
Having to deal with those who were suffering from or living with COVID, living with family members who were living with COVID, taking care of them, and ultimately having to deal with the deaths of some. So this season mandated that we wear masks to keep ourselves healthy and to keep others healthy.
And to protect them, yes.
And to protect them. And so, this book simply is a book that encourages self-care.
Okay.
It encourages self-love. It speaks specifically to leaders and even those who work with leaders who have heavy loads and who are carrying great responsibilities. And the thesis of this book is simply, you can't properly take care of others unless you properly take care of yourself.
Watch it. Now, when you talk about self-care, let's dive in there.
Yes, sir.
All right, what when you say self-care, what do you actually mean, the fullness of it? Of course, they got to get the book and read it, but,
yes, sir.
But just highlight just a little bit of how important is self-care to a peaceful spirit.
Yeah.
Because people don't know that ministry, no matter how rewarding and how beautiful, can be stressful.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That oftentimes, we have to give up the right for the wrong.
Yes, sir.
We have to try to communicate points of view to people that may or may not agree or understand.
Yes, sir.
And may not understand your perspective, but when you're the leader, you're having to rally the people together to follow in a God direction.
Yes, sir.
So when you talk about self-care, what are some of the things that you do in self-care to keep your balance, your foundation?
Yeah, it's so important that when God speaks to Moses on the top of Mount Sinai and delivers to him the Decalogue or the Ten Commandments, he makes sure to insert and emphasize the importance of self-care. Remember the Sabbath day.
Come on.
And keep it holy. Set aside for the purposes of God, which is really interesting. Because the revelation that Jesus gives us concerning the Sabbath.
Come on.
You remember he was healing on the Sabbath day.
I remember.
And the Pharisees had a problem with that. And Jesus goes through this back and forth, this dialogue with them, asking them questions about their cattle, livestock, etc. And he says something that blows my mind. He says that man was not made for Sabbath, but Sabbath was made for man.
That's powerful.
Which means keeping the Sabbath day holy or separated unto God means ministering to yourself.
Wow. So when we look at Chick-fil-A, my God, and how they are intentional.
Yes, sir.
We're not gonna hype them up too much, but just to say, see a company that decided to shut everything down on a Sunday and still not come behind in numbers.
They don't miss a beat. As a matter of fact, they are the most successful fast food chain. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They don't miss a beat. And so, I try in as much as possible to honor the concept of Sabbath.
I'm with it.
Which is ministry to self. And
that's powerful.
I always encourage people to, take a Sabbath day, a Sabbath moment, and minister to you. Do what you like to do.
Yeah.
Most certainly rest, reflect, refocus, but refresh yourself.
Come on.
And participate in some sort of recreation or recreation.
Now let's talk about this, because a lot of times people don't get to talk to the pastor the way I'm talking to the pastor. So what are some of your recreational activities or hobbies that people would be surprised that you do?
This may not be considered to be a recreation to some, but I am committed to, I'm a stickler for physical fitness.
Okay.
And so I have a workout regimen, and for me, that is recreation. Also, spending time with my family.
Come on.
That's recreation for me, with my wife, with my kids,
Wonderful.
With my extended family. It is, for me, absolutely necessary that I stay connected to those persons. And, other things, movies and music and concerts.
I got you. So you've given us the thesis, self-care, saving yourself. When we talk about saving yourself first, what does that look like from a prayer perspective?
Oh, wow. One of the devotionals here is about prayer. And, it's the cliche, if you're going to pray, don't worry. If you're going to worry, don't pray.
Come on.
And prayer is very essential in self-care because, again, it is our connection to God. It's our opportunity to communicate with God, to speak to Him personally, transparently, etc., and then to hear Him speak to us. And it's so true that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of God. And so God is continuously leading, guiding, directing, instructing, correcting, revealing things. And so, prayer is so key for all of those reasons.
My God. Bishop Kevin Long, put your mask on first. Where can they find this incredible book?
You can find it at kevinllong.com. You can find it on amazon.com and barnesandnobles.com.
All right, put your mask on first. There's so much more to come after this on John Lakin and Friends. What's up, everybody? It's your boy, John Lakin, and I want to invite you to save the date. February 18th, we will be back at Harbison Theater, where we will be celebrating Black History Month. On February 18th, we will be singing the songs of Zion, the songs that brought us over. We've come this far by faith. You know, those songs, the songs that we grew up on, that have given us power. So we will be at Harbison Theater on February 18th. You do not want to miss it. Ticket information will be forthcoming. Welcome back to John Lakin and Friends. And boy, we got real power on this forum with us today. I got my family, the good bishop-elect who's about to be bishop in the Lord's church, Pastor James Rowson Jr., as well as Bishop Kevin Long. How are you all doing today?
I'm wonderful. I'm so glad to be here with
Good shape. Glad to be here. Great company.
I'm telling you, boy, I feel like somebody. I'm going to set with good power. Now, I want to jump right into this. Let's talk about pastoring this millennial generation. You all have been pastoring. Your church has been established now for 20 years.
20 years.
Now, how does that feel? I remember when you opened, I was at the service, my God. At the inaugural service.
Wow.
I remember when you opened the church, and to 20 years later, you know, new building, still standing and being elevated in the Lord's church. How has this journey been for you over the last 20 years?
Remarkable.
Yes, sir.
It's been educational the whole way. God teaches us lessons as life leaves clues.
Yes, sir.
I often say, and if I would put a scripture to it, I would simply have to say, having therefore obtained help from God.
Come on.
Because the only way I've made it is I've had some help.
Yes, sir. And Bishop, you pastoring 26 years.
26 years.
My Lord. And so let's talk about this millennial generation. We'll get to pandemic pastoring in a moment. But the millennial generation is a little different. And now we're even at Generation X, which is another generation after the millennial generation. How has it been trying to get the word and the foundation to this generation? And what are some challenges that you've seen with ministry to that younger generation?
Bishop?
After you, please.
Well, I feel that, and thank you, John, for having us.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for having me. You are an amazing voice and amazing.
Thank you,
God
sir.
has made you iconic
Thank you.
in this day. And I'm so grateful to have this opportunity to be on your platform.
We just glad to have you. Yes, sir.
I believe that the church is in a bit of a civil war.
Wow, come on.
I believe that there is intergenerational strife. The older is accused of not respecting the gifts and the talents and the know-how of the younger.
Yes,
the younger have no regard and honor for the older.
Yes, sir.
And so this is going on all the time. So we hear things like old school church, new school church. There's really no such thing.
Come on.
But because we did not properly embrace the generations coming behind us, they turned.
Yes, sir.
They turned on us in many ways. And it's a bit of our fault. Because we told them, man, y'all go sit in the corner. Y'all don't know God. You don't know what you're doing. Instead of saying, y'all do it differently.
Yes.
Let me put it like this. The older generation is the generation of guts.
Okay.
My 3-year-old grandson can operate an iPhone. He's the generation of gadgets.
Okay.
And what needs to happen is the guts and the gadgets need to marry.
Come on.
The younger can teach me things I would not know.
Come on, yes, sir.
And I don't need to be intimidated by their abilities and their know-how. But they need to embrace the fact that I've been here long enough and I have guts.
Yes, sir.
I know how to pray through it.
Come on.
I know how to stick to something.
Yes, sir.
This younger generation, they'll get mad at a job and won't even last the 90-day period. They quit.
Yeah,
we were scared to quit jobs.
Yes, sir.
Come on.
So I think if guts and glory, if guts and gadgets marry, then we'll see glory.
Wow. Yes, sir. Bishop?
No, I agree wholeheartedly with my brother. I think what we're experiencing also, and it's nothing new, it's a clash of cultures. Our culture, for the most part, those of us who are boomers and older, for the most part, has been church.
Yes, sir.
The millennial culture has been secular. It's been non-churched, unchurched.
Yes, sir.
And for some, even de-churched.
Wow, come on.
And that poses a problem when we're clashing and actually we should be connecting. I have a saying that the premise of the gospel has never been to change culture.
Okay.
The gospel is intended to change the hearts of the people who live in the culture.
Okay.
And the people whose hearts are changed, they're used by God to change in the culture what needs to be changed. And so I believe for this younger millennial generation, there has to be on our end an understanding that culture got them first.
Yeah.
Secular culture got them first. But then they need to understand that we will not lower the standards of being followers of Christ and being those who operate in the kingdom to satisfy and to pacify their apathy, their indifference, their non-commitment. So,
there's so much more to come after this on John Lakin and Friends.
Good morning, everybody. My name's Zion Lakin. I just wanted to ask y'all to go subscribe to my Uncle John's YouTube channel, hit that notification bell so y'all can get notified whenever a video is posted. And also, make sure you visit his website at www.johnlakin.com. My name's Zion Lakin, and I'm here with John Lakin and Friends. Indeed.
Welcome back to John Lakin and Friends. We are so glad that you decided to worship with us today. Listen, we're about to get out of here, but before we do, I want to shout out a few people. I want to shout out my Uncle Pee-wee, my Aunt Mildred, my Uncle Jimmy, and everybody else down there in the Patterson family, my Uncle Hayward. I absolutely love you all. I want to thank Brooklyn Baptist Church and Glory Temple for all of your support through the years. I appreciate you. And those of you that are surviving the struggle, remember, God will get in it with you. Have an incredible Sunday.
Yeah!